Hey everybody, it's David. Just wanted to provide my input to 1.3.2, the discussion on the conventional and social communication models. One of the things, this class, even though the title is business communication, the communication methods that you will be presented throughout this class have application outside of the business world. They have application in professional settings, perhaps at your church or where you volunteer, and they certainly have application for you in your personal lives. I look at the communication component. Now I'm a grandfather now, but as my kids were growing up, I wished I'd have had some of these techniques when they were growing up. Probably could have saved myself and saved them some headache, heartache, and everything else. But this first question, and you'll notice again, I want to make sure that you focus on the what. What is the concept that I'm presenting? Why is it important? And then how can you use it? And so all of the discussion questions that you're going to have in this class are going to be focused on what, why, and how. So this one asks you to look at the communication model from figure 1.5. And that's just a standard communication model. Just realize, however, that when you talk about communication, it's not just verbal communication between two people or between one person and a group. It can be via writing, it can be presentation, it can be via video. Um, and the response that you get as you go through those 8 steps that it lists there can take different pathways depending on whether it is a verbal or a written communication. I mean, as a business person, as a business leader in the past, sometimes I would send something out and I get nothing in return. So was that an effective communication mechanism for me? Probably not, right? Or sometimes you're chatting with your kid or kids and you have them staring at you like, the empty stare or looking down and they never say anything or never do anything. So are you registering with them through that communication process? So I just wanted you to look this week at the what component of this and describe in detail and make sure again that you're focused not only on verbal communication, but all the other aspects of that. The why component of this says, why is it important to have a clear understanding of your audience when you communicate when you choose a communication model? Understanding the audience is very important because if you don't understand your audience, then you're putting a lot of faith that they're going to be able to translate and have clarity in what you're saying and what you're wanting them to do. And so having a clear understanding of that audience, what language they use, and I'm not talking about English, Spanish, or so on. I'm talking about just dialogue language that they have and how you can connect with them. And I always say this in writing, in courses, and also in presentation. That's the first step. You have to understand who's going to be the audience who's hearing what you're saying or reading what you're writing and so on. So it's very, very important to have a full understanding of your audience. And then the how component of this, how can or will you use this information in your personal and professional communication? Well, the first thing I would do before I would, if I ever got assigned something at work to say, okay, we need for you to present to senior leadership, or we need you to present to the rank and file, or we need you to present to potential investors. Those are all different audiences. And then in your regular life, are you communicating to friends? Are you communicating to family? Are you communicating to strangers? Are you communicating to a bank that you're trying to get a loan from? And so it's very important to have all those individual components. All right. Look forward to reading all of your discussion posts this week. Take care.